post off with a video saying that this was a kiss cam incident. In my honest opinion, when I think back to last night and that whole scenario, someone knew something about those two people being there together.
In a digital era where nothing remains private, a single kiss has triggered a scandal unlike anything Silicon Valley has ever seen. It wasn't leaked in a memo or exposed through corporate espionage. It happened live on the massive kiss cam. At a Coldplay concert, under dazzling lights and before a sea of 60,000 fans, tech CEO Andy Byron was caught kissing a woman who wasn't his wife at first glance.
Scientists figure out that they didn't want us to see whatever we saw.
Yeah. Man, he dropped out real quick and turned.
Yeah, because he just realized how many millions of dollars he lost.
Yeah, exactly.
It looked like a sweet concert moment to people lost in the music and each other, but social media quickly unraveled the truth. The man, Andy Byron, founder and CEO of Astronomer, a $70 million tech startup built on the principles of family, transparency, and ethical leadership. The woman, Kristin Cabot, the head of human resources at his own company. The emotional fallout was immediate and heartbreaking. At home, streaming the event live with their 3 children was Megan Byron, Andy's wife. She and their kids watched the betrayal unfold in real time. And for the children, that was just the beginning. Their father's face became a viral sensation, and at school the next day, whispers followed by cruel jokes turned into memes. TikTok users remixed the kiss into viral comedic clips, and classmates circulated screen grabs flavored with mockery. For children who are old enough to have phones and social profiles, the experience was more than embarrassment, it was trauma. This wasn't merely a scandal, it was a seismic shift. It shattered a family image, exposed corporate hypocrisy, and put 3 children at the center of a public spectacle they never chose.
You do have to think about the children and the spouses. We're all laughing about it, but they're all families and stuff.
In just 8 seconds, an empire began to unravel and a family was forced into crisis. Let's discuss the latest news in the Andy Byron case. What fresh updates are emerging, and how is the public reacting now that emotions have settled and legal battles may be underway? It was supposed to be a night of music, lights, and stadium magic. Coldplay's Music of the Spheres tour had just hit Foxborough, Massachusetts, packing in over 60,000 fans. As the camera panned across the cheering crowd, it landed on what seemed like another cute couple smiling, relaxed, close. She reached up and ran her fingers through his hair. He leaned in and kissed her like they were the only 2 people in the world. But they weren't just any couple. And this wasn't just any kiss. The man was Andy Byron, CEO of Astronomer, a billion-dollar software startup based in San Francisco. The woman, Kristin Cabot, the company's chief people officer, his direct subordinate. And perhaps most devastating of all, watching the live stream at home were Byron's wife, Megan, and their 3 children. What might have passed as an affectionate moment between 2 concert goers instantly became something else entirely.
I think cheating is an abomination, okay? And this man has a wife, he has children, these kids are gonna have to watch and see this. They don't look, I would be devastated if I was...
A viral betrayal within minutes. The video was clipped, uploaded, and analyzed. Social media was ablaze. Viewers weren't just shocked, they were furious. Byron, the polished executive known for his family-first branding, was now the face of hypocrisy. Astronomer moved quickly. Both Byron and Cabot were placed on immediate administrative leave. By the next morning, internal memos confirmed what headlines already suggested Byron had resigned, citing a breach of company values. Kristin Cabot reportedly submitted her resignation days later, but for many, that was just the beginning. The internet didn't see a personal indiscretion. It saw an executive allegedly abusing his power in public, with the woman responsible for preventing exactly this kind of misconduct. In one kiss, Andy Byron didn't just betray his family. He cracked the facade of a company built on ethics and lit the match that would burn down his own legacy. Within hours of the kiss cam footage going viral, the internet shifted into full investigation mode. Reddit threads multiplied, TikTok sleuths slowed the clip down frame by frame. Twitter users cross-referenced public records, corporate filings, and event details, while Astronomer's legal team crafted statements. The public had already begun building a case. By midnight, the video had racked up over 12 million views. Social media users quickly identified both figures. Kristin Cabot's LinkedIn profile surfaced, confirming her role as Chief People Officer. Online commenters immediately pointed out the irony. The head of HR caught in the most viral workplace scandal of the decade. But then came the deeper digging. Investigators found what appeared to be VIP ticket purchases charged to astronomers' corporate card. Others posted screenshots of hotel confirmations and Uber drop-off logs that aligned suspiciously with the timeline. A 47-page Google Doc compiling alleged misconduct circulated online. Within 24 hours, meme culture quickly followed. Coldplay did what compliance couldn't: read one post. Another called them HR and CEO, Silicon Valley's worst crossover. Spotify users even created a playlist called Songs to Divorce Your Billionaire Husband To, gaining over 2 million followers in days. The response wasn't just amusement, it was moral outrage. People weren't angry about romance, they were angry about power, entitlement, and the appearance of unethical behavior at the top of a company that claimed to be built on integrity. This wasn't cancel culture. It was consequence culture, crowd-driven, relentless, and unapologetically public. And the message was clear: this wasn't going away quietly. As outrage gained traction, the conversation moved from who kissed whom to who paid for what. Allegedly leaked receipts, travel data, and corporate charges suggested this wasn't just a personal indiscretion, it might have crossed into corporate misconduct. Users unearthed Coldplay VIP tickets, reportedly $800 each, allegedly billed to astronomers' corporate American Express. Then came hotel documents, a 2-night stay at the St. Regis, one king bed under Kristin Cabot's name. Uber logs appeared to show separate pickups with the same destination. The digital trail painted the image of a business trip turned affair. Funded at least in part by company resources, Kristin's digital footprint began disappearing. Her LinkedIn was deleted. Her portfolio went dark. Social accounts locked. It looked less like privacy protection and more like a strategic retreat. 8 years of visible company history vanished overnight. The timeline raised one question: was this more than just unethical? If company money supported a private affair, legal experts suggested it could point to a breach of fiduciary duty. And if promotions or performance reviews were influenced, that's a whole other level. The growing evidence didn't yet confirm guilt, but it certainly intensified public suspicion. While the internet erupted and the media fixated on the viral kiss, Megan Byron remained eerily quiet. No tweets, no tearful statements, no tabloid exclusives. But according to close sources, that silence wasn't from shock, it was by design. Months before the Coldplay incident, Megan reportedly suspected Andy's behavior had shifted. Unexplained meetings, secretive texts, late-night business trips. Instead of confronting him outright, she made a strategic move. She hired a private investigator. That decision gave her time, control, and most importantly, receipts. By the time the video went viral, Megan was already prepared. Within 24 hours, she filed for divorce, not out of emotion, but as the final move in a well-documented legal case. Her lawyers reportedly some of the sharpest in corporate family law, armed with evidence, travel logs, financial records, email transcripts. The divorce filing requested $35 million. Online, Megan's presence vanished. She deleted photos, removed Byron's name from her accounts, and went completely dark. It wasn't a meltdown, it was an erasure. Internet users praised her. She didn't cry. She erased him. One viral post read, "The blueprint," said another, "behind." The silence was strategy. Megan didn't just survive the scandal. She took ownership of it without ever speaking a word. In the days that followed, Megan Byron didn't utter a single word publicly, but she didn't need to. Every move she made sent a louder message than any post or interview could have. And her silence, it became her strongest asset. Her Instagram was wiped clean, every trace of her life with Andy deleted. She reverted to her maiden name, Megan Carrion, across all platforms. Not in anger, but with the precision of someone reclaiming her identity. Online commentators called it the cleanest digital exit in internet history. While Andy faced the press and Kristin disappeared, Megan never acknowledged the scandal, no subtweets, no quotes to reporters. She simply vanished from the narrative yet remained at its center. Behind the scenes, however, her legal team was building a case that extended far beyond divorce. They allegedly began investigating potential corporate misconduct tied to Andy's relationship with Cabot, misuse of funds, power imbalances, violations of executive trust. This wasn't a woman reacting to chaos. It was a woman executing a plan, and while Andy's world fell apart, Megan's restraint became the scandal's most powerful counterpunch. While Andy Byron's personal life unraveled, the impact on Astronomer, the billion-dollar company he helped build, was swift and unforgiving. What started as a kiss cam scandal quickly evolved into a full-scale corporate crisis within 48 hours. Astronomer's homepage changed. The once prominent slogan, "People First," was replaced with a sterile placeholder. Innovation, integrity, impact. Internally, emergency Zoom calls erupted. Externally, their brand was bleeding. Investors were the first to act. One major firm reportedly pulled $12 million in funding. Another paused a scheduled partnership. Valuation projections were slashed. Though Astronomer is privately held, damage control was publicly visible. Then the employees spoke up, anonymous. Glassdoor reviews surfaced, alleging favoritism, toxic leadership, and cover-ups. One claimed Kristin Cabot had fast-tracked promotions for Byron's allies. Another described complaints mysteriously disappearing. The common theme? A broken culture at the top. And then came the leaks, screenshots of Slack messages, financial reports, internal memos. One particularly chilling quote from Cabot read, "We're all adults here. Let's keep things professional." That message, originally meant to smooth over tension, now lives pinned to Reddit, mocked and dissected. Astronomer's brand, once praised for innovation, was now synonymous with dysfunction. The fallout wasn't contained to boardrooms, it seeped into every corner of the company, forcing everyone to ask, what else had been happening behind closed doors? As media attention turned from scandal to legality, the stakes escalated quickly. Megan Byron's legal team wasn't just focused on divorce, they were reportedly building a case that alleged deeper misconduct, corporate fraud, fiduciary breach, and ethical violations. According to sources, Andy Byron allegedly used company funds to support his relationship with Kristin Cabot. Hotel rooms, VIP tickets, luxury dinners, all expense under executive travel. If true, it wasn't just inappropriate, it could be illegal. The Securities and Exchange Commission took interest. A preliminary inquiry was reportedly launched to determine whether Byron's relationship influenced hiring, bonuses, or internal promotions, potential violations of shareholder trust and executive conduct. Kristin wasn't safe either. As chief people officer, her alleged role in approving promotions and potentially shielding complaints raised questions of compliance failures, collusion, or worse. Megan's legal team subpoenaed everything: Slack chats, emails, bonus records, even Byron's browser history. They weren't just pursuing alimony, they were pursuing accountability. This was no longer a private family issue. This was a potential white-collar implosion, unfolding live across headlines and legal filings. Amid viral memes and executive resignations, one group bore the quietest burden: Andy and Megan Byron's 3 children. Sources say all are school-aged, and unfortunately, all are online. The moment their father became a trending topic, their lives changed. At school, classmates whispered. By lunch, TikToks featuring the Kiss Kim clip were circulating. Some students allegedly mocked the kids, directly tagging them, remixing Coldplay lyrics, turning private trauma into public content. One child reportedly asked a teacher, "Are we still a real family?" Another blocked Andy's number. The emotional toll wasn't just sadness, it was humiliation. Megan acted fast. Therapy, private schooling, digital protection. But no firewall can delete the internet. These kids didn't just witness betrayal, they lived its fallout in real time. This is the invisible cost of viral scandals. Behind every screenshot, there are names and faces that don't get to log out. As the internet raged, Kristin Cabot quietly vanished. Within 24 hours of the Coldplay incident, her LinkedIn was deleted, her Instagram wiped. Portfolio gone, no apology, no press release, no trace. Neighbors say she left in the night. Some claim she's overseas. Others believe she's lawyered up and underground. The truth, no one knows. And that silence has only fueled speculation. Was she protecting herself or hiding something deeper? Digital sleuths alleged she may have deleted internal records if true, a potential legal violation. But unlike Byron, who faced immediate scrutiny, Cabot slipped through the cracks of media coverage. For many, this disparity stung. To people who were involved, only one seemed to face real consequences. The digital court hasn't forgotten. Her name may be missing from search engines, but it lives on in Reddit threads, investigative blogs, and the collective memory of a scandal that rocked Silicon Valley. Months have passed, lawsuits are brewing, careers are in limbo, but the internet? It still remembers every second of that kiss. For some, this was karma, a CEO caught abusing power, a company exposed, and a woman quietly walking away with dignity. For others, it raised harder questions. Was Megan a victim or a mastermind? Was Kristin a partner or a pawn? Comment sections split down the middle. TikToks still go viral. Reddit threads still update. And Andy Byron still silent. Friends say he paces his home muttering, "It was just one mistake." But the digital world has no rewind button. One kiss, 8 seconds, and $1 billion empire fell. In the age of internet justice, courtrooms aren't the only place verdicts are delivered. They're handed down in shares, comments, like sand in the silence that follows when the world stops watching.